All right, let's get it. All right, everyone. This is the DC Incentives podcast, and we have a special guest here. And we would like to thank this one definitely. And listen, let's do a drum roll for this guest. Boom, please introduce yourself.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Natalie. I am a content creator. I'm also the founder of an app called Relle, which helps content creators and their teams manage their business and manage their content. And I'm really excited to be on the podcast. Thanks for the great intro.
No problem, definitely. All right, so let's get started. Let's give a brief bio about yourself. When did you get started? For who the person you are, tell the audience, a bio about yourself.
Yeah, so I actually started as a content creator 12 years ago. So it's been a long time. Very early days of social media. It was actually even before Instagram. I was on YouTube. So very like OG content creator days. I
Okay.
don't even know if that
Yeah.
was a term. Like the word influencer wasn't even a word yet.
Mm.
But I did it because I just like really loved creating content. I was always one of those kids that would like take the camera and record videos and skits and like just always loved to be creative. And so started on YouTube in 2011, did it throughout high school, college, was able to eventually quit my job after college to do social media full time and be a full time creator. And then about 2 years ago, I actually started an app called Rella, which is that digital workspace for creators and their teams to manage their business. And it just helps creators like plan their content. It helps them track their revenue, track brand deals, get all of their content organized, schedule it all out, and connect with the social media platforms.
So, okay, so you just dropped something just now. So you said you quit your job, right? You
hmm
quit your 9 to 5. So let's talk about more of like what strategic plan did you had when you decided to quit your job?
Yeah, I always had a like revenue goal and I always had, a savings goal that I wanted to hit before I quit. For me, it was always making a little bit more than what I was making at my 9 to 5. Like I didn't want to quit unless I was doubling my income or more. Just because I got an engineering degree in school and so I was like I want to do something with that. I want to, I don't want that to go to waste. That was kind of like my mentality. So I was like I'm not going to quit and like quit the job that I wanted really badly when I was in school to do this unless it was like legit and unless I knew that I had a future in this. So that's why I waited until I was making more money on social media than I was at my corporate job. But for everyone, it's different. Like if some people make the leap, really early and it works out, some people are a lot more like risk averse and they,
Mm,
take take like want to have a certain amount in their savings. So for me, I wanted to have a certain amount in my savings and I wanted to like make a certain amount of money. So I started being more consistent. I started like wanting to work with more brands. I was super, super consistent and like engaging with my audience. And I had like no social life when I was working because I was pretty much just doing like 9 to 5 and then content creation. Like that was my life back then. And it paid off.
okay, so can we talk numbers? Is that okay?
Yeah, we
Can
can
we
talk
talk
some
numbers?
numbers. Yeah.
Okay, so when what was the number? Like what was your hit goal when you was like, all right, I'm quitting my 9 to 5, like right now, I quit. What was the number?
Yeah, so I was making 60,000 at my job, at my like corporate job. That was my salary. Was as starting out and I wanted to hit like 100,000 on social media before I quit my job. Like that was the goal. Like I really wanted to hit that because I knew that social media was a lot more up and down. And so I didn't want to just like match my salary because I knew that like okay, if it takes a dip then I'm under what I was making, so I wanted to have room. So I honestly
Mm.
wanted to make between like 100 to like 120. Like I wanted it to pretty much like double on social media before I quit.
This is a week or a month?
Oh, this is a year.
Oh
Not
yeah, yeah.
a
So
year,
you was going to make a
120,000 a
hundred.
year. Yeah, yeah. Oh
Woof.
my god, not a month. That would be I would be that would be really nice.
Okay. Okay. So 100,000 a year.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So and you reach your goal.
Yep.
Um, a year. Now, talk about more of like you becoming content creator, entrepreneur, what was that like what was that, after when you quit your 9 to 5, like what was that like? What was it like something like you get your own schedule, you still have to wake up like, 4 or 5 in the morning, you do all like what is it like?
Yeah, honestly, it was super weird at first because I had gone from being super busy. Like I was,
Mm,
waking up early to film content and edit. Then I would go to work at 9 o'clock. Then I would take my lunch break and I would go to the coffee shop downstairs and do more like content creation work. Then after work, I would come home and I would like set up my camera and film and all of this. Like I was nonstop working. It was a really busy season for me when I was juggling both. And so when I quit, I didn't have obviously this huge chunk of time that I was
mm,
committing to my job. And so I had so much more free time, but I knew that I didn't want to, like lack structure and I didn't want to just like fall into like not having a routine or just, getting lazy. So I still tried to wake up early, do my routine. I already started working like I then had my podcast come out, so then I was like working on that. Then I wanted to have like an agency, so I started working on like building that. So I never was like 100% content creation and that's it. Like that was 100% of my income for a while, but that wasn't what I was working on 100%. Like once I quit my job, I already had like another business venture that I wanted to jump into, but I was also able to obviously spend more time doing content. So I still had like structure, but definitely my time freed up a ton. I was, more flexible, like I could travel whenever. Like it was super nice. So I've been working from home slash working for myself for the past like 4 years now.
Oh, okay. So that's okay. So let's get a gem for the audience. Okay, so talk about your streams of revenue when you was working for yourself.
Yeah, I did brand deals. That was always my top form of
Okay.
revenue. So brand deals, then AdSense from like YouTube. My
Hmm.
podcast started earning me revenue. Um, then I started consulting one on one with creators, and so I would
Hmm.
consult them one on one to help them grow on social media. That was another form of revenue, and then I would also like help brands work with influencers and help them with their like social strategy. That was another form of income. Affiliate marketing as a creator is another form of income. It's like pretty small for me, but like it's still like, if you link out to Amazon or link out, your clothes that you're wearing, whatever. So that was another one. I think those were the main ones from when I was like working for myself. And still today, that's pretty much I don't do the consulting anymore. So I don't work with brands and I don't do one-on-one consulting with creators that for like I don't get paid for that. But now I
Hmm.
have Rella. So that's another form of income for me.
And when you created Rella, like
two
what
years
what
ago.
was the 2 years ago? So what was the idea of creating Rella?
Yeah, so I was doing it full time. I was helping other creators one on one, and I was getting really frustrated because I was using so many different apps to run my business. Like I was using Excel, a bunch of spreadsheets, notes on my phone, project management tools, content calendar. Like I just used so many
Mm,
different tools and apps, and things were kind of getting lost. And I just felt very disorganized, and I just knew that there needed to be something better out there for creators like myself and like the people that I was, coaching, and there wasn't anything out there. Like I couldn't recommend anything besides a bunch of these apps that you kind of like string together. And so I wanted one place that
mm,
centralizes it, that, you can plan your content, you can track your brand deals, you can organize everything, you can send invoices, you can, add your team members onto it and like have it be like one centralized hub where you know how your business is doing as a creator. You can stay organized and you can, start it from when you're not making money and then, grow into it as you do continue to make an income. So that's what I wanted with Rella. That's what I saw with Rella. And so we started building it and we started with just like a content planner and now we're growing from there.
who's we? You and who else?
Oh, I have two co-founders. Yeah, so I have two co-founders, so it's a team. Now we're a
Mhm.
team of six. Like we do have employees as well, but
Mm,
yeah, I found co-founders to help me develop it.
mm. And talk about more of like when you and your team, when you sat down, when you created this app, how long did it take to develop that app?
It took probably from when we had the idea, or I had the idea end of 2019, but I didn't. No one started working on it until 2021, or wait, 2020. End of 2020 is when I had the idea. Didn't start working on it until 2021. We didn't start seriously working on it until like the summer of 2021. So
Mm,
I would say it took about like 6 to 7 months to get a product in the market.
gotcha.
Like
Gotcha.
once we actually started like seriously working on it.
Mm. And you had to get app developers and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's my co-founders. So they developed everything for me. Like for us, obviously, because they're part of the team.
So talk about more of like how much money, because like we talk about more of like you becoming an entrepreneur or a content creator, and but let's talk about more of like how much money did you invest in yourself?
Yeah. So I invested personally like 40,000. Like it was a lot of money, or maybe like 40 to 50,000 was like my personal investment into Rella. And I knew that this was just something that would grow and like I could, I saw the potential in it. But we ended up having to raise money. So we did raise from like venture capital firms and
Mm,
from investors. And so we ended up raising 1 million. So that was it was like I invested a lot of my own money. My co-founders invested a lot of their like time because they were working pretty much full time on Rella without getting paid at all for
mm,
months, for like over a year.
mm,
Probably like almost 2 years they were working for free. I mean, for equity, but like we were all working for free. And so until we
mm.
raised money from VCs, which was that the $1 million, then that is when we started like paying ourselves, and we still don't pay ourselves a lot of money at all, but started paying ourselves, and then we were able to like hire people and pay them.
You know what I love that you just said? You said we didn't get paid.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love what you just said. You said we didn't get paid. So you develop you and your team, you developed this app and you didn't get paid until y'all started. What year was this? Y'all started getting paid
2022, last year.
last year. And okay, so what made you not give up?
I mean, we just saw the potential. Like, we believe that this is a company that can sell for a lot of money and that could grow to a like very valuable company. And we see how the creator economy is growing. And there's so many creators entering the space, and there's so many people that are becoming creators, even if they're not like calling themselves that. Like, they could be founders, they could be business owners, but at the end of the day, they're creating content on social media for their business, for whatever they're
Mm-hmm.
doing, and they need something like Rella. So, I see it as like a company that can grow to a, be like incredibly valuable. So I see like the long term investment where like, yeah, we're not getting
Mm-hmm.
paid right now. Yeah, I'm putting in a lot of money right now, but it's going to pay off in the end because it's going to become way more valuable. So it's just like a long term investment into ourselves.
So what gem would you drop to the people that is watching this right now? And what gem would you drop when people are working on their business or working on their content creation or anything, and instead of saying be consistent and don't give up and have faith, what gem would you drop to them, the ones that are not making money right now that wants to make money to their business?
Yeah. I mean, obviously be consistent and have faith. That's a big one. But I think
Uh-huh.
I do think that one, you have to assess like, do you
Mm,
have a passion for it? Because if you don't,
gotcha.
it's not gonna work long term if you don't actually have like a true passion. Like if you're doing something just because you think it's gonna make you money, I
Mhm,
wouldn't do that. Like you have to like fully be convicted and like believe in what you're doing because it is
mhm,
really hard. Um, and then also, I mean, I always think that the people that make it are the ones that have the grit and perseverance. Like I think like people give up really easily. Like if something doesn't work out for the first few months or if something's not working out immediately, people are very quick to be like, okay, next thing. But I think if you look at success stories and you look at businesses that have been successful and businesses that have, grown into what they are today, if you compare them to the businesses that have failed, I think a lot of times it's just about like perseverance and grit, and like sticking it out. Like when things get hard, like what are you going to do to cut costs? What are you going to do to like stay
mm.
alive? Like it's honestly just like a game of like how do you continue to stay alive? And whoever stays alive the longest wins at the end of the day. So I think you just have to like keep going. And I know that sounds really cheesy, but don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to change. Be flexible with your thinking and with like the product and what you're building. Like if your original idea doesn't work, that's fine. It doesn't mean you have to give up. Just like change the idea then. Like to go another direction. What did you learn from that? What direction do you think is better? Like I think it's about just like sticking it out honestly till the end.
So what are the five things you would say to them that are not making money? Like, is it the marketing they have to, think about? Is it like the social media? Is it like the thinking what thinking do they have to do? Like, what are the five thinking paths that they have to do?
Yeah. I mean, I think one is how do you stay as lean as possible? So like
Hmm,
what is the quickest
that's a
way?
bar. That's a bar.
Yeah. What is the quickest way to acquire people or to get customers or to put your company out there that is going to be the cheapest? Like, how can you do
Hmm.
that for free? So I think staying lean is really important and don't like overhire and like you can be scrappy. Like, be scrappy, stay lean, stay consistent. And yeah, I think in terms of marketing, try social media out at first. Like, you don't need to hire this like expensive marketing agency or this like freelancer. Like, try it out yourself. Like, social media in the beginning was made for people just like you and me. Like, it was for the everyday person is on social media. Like, you probably, if you're listening to this, have an Instagram account, you have a TikTok. Like, even if you're not posting, you're consuming content. So, like, social media is not that hard to just start posting. It's hard to, grow, but I think it's because people give up quickly. It's like they invest time into it and they're like, oh, I don't see growth. And so they give up after a month when it's like, no, 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 you need to take a lot of time and then you'll grow. Like, I've been doing social media for 12 years. I've never had a video that's like gone super viral or catapulted me to have all of these followers. Like, I have grown super slowly, super steadily. And the only reason why I am still making money on social media is not because, oh, I have so many followers and so many views. It's because I've just been consistent for the past 12 years. Like,
Let's go.
that's it. Like, I've just like
Let's
haven't given
go.
up.
Let's go. Okay. Content creators. Okay, so for someone that wants to be a content creator, or creating vlogs and everything, because you're a content creator yourself.
Yep.
What advice would you give them?
I would say that a lot of times, okay, biggest piece of advice, don't be a perfectionist. Just start uploading content.
Hmm.
Because I think a lot of people think, oh gosh, this isn't perfect or this isn't that great or who's going to want to watch this? You second guess yourself so much. You're like, oh, well, no one's going to want to watch this. So I'm just not going to upload it. When it's like, you have no idea, like just upload it. There's no harm in uploading something and then it failing. Like, if it flops, who cares? Like, what? That doesn't do anything. It's not like, oh, if something flopped, you have a lot on the line and it can't like, you know, not perform well. Like, it's okay if something doesn't perform well. So, but the thing is, if you're constantly telling yourself, no one's going to listen to this, this isn't interesting, no one cares, and then you just never upload anything, that's a guaranteed way to fail because then you're like never uploading anything. So just upload content, upload it, even if it's not perfect, and you never know what's going to stick and what's going to resonate. And that's the only way to get better is by actually putting yourself out there and like filming and creating content and like seeing what lands with your audience.
So when you said seeing what lands with your audience, is that like doing what they're passionate about?
Yeah, film content, post content that you enjoy seeing and that you enjoy creating. Don't find something that's trendy and be like, oh, I have to post this because it's trending when you don't even enjoy it. Like, you should
Gotcha.
be filming content that you enjoy. And like, the best way to figure out what you enjoy is by like, what do you like watching? And like, how can you, recreate that in your own way?
And do they need to reach a certain followers? That is followers important?
I mean, okay, numbers are definitely important, but I don't think followers is everything. I think engagement is way more important. So, like, if you have 1,000 followers, but 900 of them are like very actively engaged, that is so
Mhm.
much better than having 100,000 followers and having 500 be engaged. Like, I think it's more about the number of people you have engaged. So, if you have a small but like very active audience, that is like a million times better than a large audience that like no one cares about you.
Facts. Say that again.
Yeah.
Say that again. I was a ball. Yes. Say that
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, like, have the small
Yeah,
audience
yeah.
is so much better than a big one if they're if, if no one cares.
That was a ball. I hope everyone taking note, taking a pen, pad. This is definitely important. She's definitely dropping heavy fire on heavy fire on this one. Does money is money like how can they make money doing content creation?
I think to start, you're not going to make money. In the very beginning, you won't make money and you have to kind of like accept that. That's kind of like the initiation is like you're not going to make money in the beginning. It's a rite of passage. Um, but you can make money and you can make money quickly. If you're consistent, you have an active audience, focus more on active audience and active engagement than like follower count, like we were saying. And then you can make money once brands start approaching you. You can start approaching brands to create content. If you have a very active audience, you can even create like a community, like a Patreon or something like that, where like people are paying you for your expertise. Like you don't even need that many followers. Or now there's even like user generated content where you can create content for brands that you don't even have to post about it. It's just about like if the quality is really good and like brands want to use it. So there's so many ways to make money on social media now. You can get really creative. And the thing that I love about social media is that all it is a platform. That's it. You're not just because you're
Mm,
on social media doesn't mean you're going to make money, but it's a platform that's going to elevate you. So you have way more opportunity now than you did before you were on it. Like if you're on social media, you can make whatever it's up to you to do what you want with it. Like you can post consistently for 5 years and never make a single dollar because you're not, going out and that's not what you're looking for and that's not, you know, what you're trying to do. But what it does give you is a platform where a lot of doors can open and you can knock on a lot of doors and like way more opportunity presents itself once you start putting yourself out there on the platform. So I think it's up to you how you decide to make money on it. But having an active community, whether you're going into business, whether you want to continue to grow your personal brand, is so crucial because in order to like be successful, you obviously need to have people that care and like people that support you. And social media is such a great way to do that.
absolutely. So talk more of like what about you when your content creation because you build up your TikTok, you build up your Instagram. Talk about more of like talk more about you as a content creator. Like how did you get to be like I know this is like I know I'm probably asking the same question, but it's technically different. So it's like on TikTok, how did you reach the followers do you have today? How did
Hmm.
you reach them as a
Yeah.
content creator?
So with TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, I think TikTok is probably the easiest place to grow today. Like if I were to start
Okay.
today, I would recommend TikTok.
Mm,
Um, and for me, I need to practice what I preach because I am not the most consistent on like I'm consistent in the sense that I'm not like stopping, but I don't have like a consistent schedule on TikTok. It's just like so much to deal with like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, my business. Like it's just a lot. So like I need to practice what I preach. But with
mhm,
TikTok, I think the videos that you don't think are going to do well, like the videos that you put 5 seconds of time into, usually are the ones that end up doing well. Like
mm,
the videos that I've reached over 1 million views on TikTok, I've filmed them in 3 seconds and uploaded them. So that's what I mean when I say like don't be a perfectionist. Upload content, especially with TikTok. Like it does not matter what you post because if a video does well, who cares? But a video could do well that you just like don't even suspect and then you gain a bunch of followers. So with TikTok, I think it's more of treating it as kind of like a dump of your creative ideas and thoughts where you're just like you don't have to have, oh, I can only post once a day. Like you can post as many times as you want. You can have fun with it. And so I think taking it less seriously is honestly taking it less seriously in terms of like the content you're posting, but taking it seriously in terms of like actively posting a lot is kind of like the key. So post a lot, but don't worry that much about the actual content going up.
gotcha. Okay. And so as we come to a closing, right? Because I see that we're pressed on time. I mean, we still have a couple, but we're a little pressed on time. So talk about more of like um, for social media. Um, is it important like to have posts organically or do it like in a third party?
I don't it actually doesn't matter. So, like, you can are you talking about, like, a planning app or something like that?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
no, it doesn't there's no, like, effect on, like, if you post organically, if you auto post. The biggest thing is they want you to post. They just want you to
Mhm.
post because then you're driving people to the platform. Like, oh, if, you're posting a lot and people wanna see your content, they're coming to your platform. So, it doesn't matter how you post. What matters is that you're just getting content out there.
Gotcha. Okay. So all right. So now that it's on time, so my questions to ask you now is what is your future goals? And talk about more like where do you see yourself like 5, 10 years from now?
Yeah. Okay. Future goal is to continue to build Rella and grow Rella and be like the go-to solution for any content creator, social media powered business, creative professional to organize their business. We want to
Mhm.
be like the go-to tool. Like, oh, you're on social media, you need to use Rella. That's definitely a future goal for me. Continuing to create content. I like always want to create content. It's such a fun creative outlet for me, and it's just like the thing that I love most about my job is being able to connect with people online. It's granted me so many opportunities that I just, like, can't imagine ever stopping and giving up on it. Um, and I would say 5 to 10 years from now, I mean, I hope that I'm still doing content. I know that sounds crazy because 'cause I've been doing it since I was 15. I'm 27 now. So, like, if I'm doing it in 5 to 10 years, I'm gonna be doing it over half my life, which I'm on track to do, but that's just, like, crazy, that I've been doing it for that long. But I hope to still continue doing it, to have a business, whether it's Rella or, maybe like we sell Rella and I'm doing something else. I really
Mhm.
like to help other business owners and creators. So I think whatever I do, it'll be in the sphere of like helping other people with like what I've previously done, whether that's content creation or being a founder.
I'm sorry, I have to ask this question. What happens if social media, because you know how the world changed, like probably like every decade or every 2 decades.
Yeah.
How do you feel about AI?
Oh, it scares me so much. I actually really, really, really hate it. Like
Really?
I think
What?
it's like the worst thing that's gonna happen to the world. Like I like really I have an incredibly negative look on it.
Do you okay? So do you think like for as far as like AI goes, right? Um, do you like think it's gonna negatively impact the world, or is it something like more of a this is something like entrepreneurs can benefit of or something like that?
I mean, there's definitely things that make it easier. Like I use ChatGPT, I'm not like anti AI where I'm like not using it. I do
Mhm.
use it. And it helps and it makes things easier, but I think overall I would much rather never use AI and go back to what we were doing previously to using it because yeah, right now it's innocent. Okay, yeah, you're using ChatGPT to help you with some copywriting or help you with whatever. And like, there's fun little AI filters that like make you look cute, whatever. Like that's innocent. I just think that the way it's going, it's super dangerous for society as a whole, I think. I think it's
Mhm.
scary that people are going to be not knowing what's real and what's not real.
Hmm.
Um and I don't like the fact that like social media, its original intention was yes to like keep us more connected. And I think social media has had a lot of positives. It's also had a lot of negatives. I wouldn't go as far as to say I wish we didn't have social media. Obviously, I love it. I'm like my whole career and my life revolves around it, honestly. Like, so I
Yeah.
do think it's positive, but we've seen the negatives of like the new generations are addicted to it and they're, the mental health has been like the worst it's ever been for especially like younger kids. And I just think with AI, it's going to get so much worse because
Mm.
now they're going to be chatting, oh, their life in real life sucks. So let me go on my phone or put on my like metaverse goggles, whatever, and chat with someone that's like not even real and like think that that's real. And that like really scares me. I think we're living in a Black Mirror episode, and it's like I don't like it. I don't.
Like, so I see you watch. I see you watch the movies. That one of those artificial intelligence movies. I do
Yeah,
too.
no, it scares me.
Yeah, yeah. I can definitely probably of like what the next like what we're talking like over a decade. Like it could probably change. Um, but as more as like for your for yourself for let's talk about more of real quick on the personal side. What advice would you give for people as far as like personal and the spiritual side?
In terms of like growing a business or like what?
Yes. No, 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 not
Uh,
growing a business. Like you, like grow you growing for yourself.
oh, okay. I mean, I think it's super important to have balance and like work is not everything. Business is not everything. Money is not everything. Like you have to have people in your life that support you. You have to have a balance. You have to be able to go out and like not be productive and like have a lazy day or like just hang out with
Mm,
friends and take a vacation and whatever it is without feeling guilty that like, oh no, you're not like working. Because I've definitely struggled with that where I'm like, oh, if I'm not working, then like, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. But I think balance is super important to avoid burnout and just to like recharge and get ideas and like learn more about yourself. And then spiritually, I think it's so important to have something else you believe in. Like, I don't know. I mean, for me, my faith is very important to me and it definitely keeps me grounded and it is definitely it's like an anchor where it's like, okay, I know that like no matter what happens, I have that and like trust that whatever plan is laid out for me is gonna happen and it's gonna be okay. So I just kind of have to like trust in that. And so I think whatever your like spiritual beliefs are, I
mm,
think they just always ground you and they can always help if you attach your purpose and your life to like something bigger than yourself. um and so yeah, that's helped me a lot personally with, I mean, business, like, and anything. It's just helped me in like my entire life. Like no matter what I've gone through, whether it's been personal or like a business decision, it's just really helped me.
let's go. Let's go. Like I congratulations to you, definitely. So how can so I only have like two or three questions and then we're coming to a closing. So how can they connect with you? If someone wanted to work with you, but when they see this, um, how can they connect with you? What's your social media? Everything.
Yeah, you can connect with me just on social media, Natalie Barbu, across all platforms. And you can message me on there, and I always read all my messages. So just feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram
And
mainly.
and why and talk about why should an entrepreneur be in Rella? How does it benefit them?
Yeah. So if you are someone that is on social media, whether you're a founder that's planning your content or creating content for social media, or you're building your personal brand, or you're just like an influencer and you need help tracking, not only planning your content, uploading it, tracking your campaigns and your deliverables, sending content to people, you can use Rella for that. So yeah, I think it's great for anyone that social media is like a pillar of their business.
Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so my last question I have for you is final thoughts.
Final thoughts on just like on what?
Uh,
Give me a
Generally,
topic.
you could okay, so you could talk about final thoughts on the podcast of what we talked about today, or what advice would you give for the people that's watching this? Just anything in general. How do you feel about this podcast? Just
Yeah.
anything.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I had a lot of fun on this podcast. I feel like I've answered questions that I haven't answered on other podcasts. So it's always nice to chat and like have an honest conversation. But I think the biggest takeaway is just like no matter what you're doing, whether it's business, life, anything, I think consistency, grit, having like a passion, having a purpose, like that's non-negotiable for whatever you do in life, I think. social media, not social media, personal, business, whatever. I think those things are just traits and things that you should take with you as you navigate life.
Let's go. All right. So as we come to a closing, I wanted to say thank you for this. Any questions for me?
No, this was great. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. So we're coming to a closing. Thank you, Natalie, so much. And so don't go nowhere. I want to ask you questions offline. But yeah, we are out. Thank you. DC
Thank
Incentives
you.
Podcast.